earlier when this policy document was being drafted. She presented it with that very, very high profile team of people. And Shakila Madam will be taking up this question and answer session with you when she'll be speaking to you. So what I want to say is that Dr. Zishan and our team has tried to put together a very wholesome, very enriching, and a very memorable experience for you. So please try to make the best use of it. I want to share with you a couple of do's and don'ts of how you will be attending this course. I can see quite a few of you have joined on time. I was very happy to see the class was full of more than 50 participants when I joined. So all 200 of you, I'm requesting to please join on time and please be regular. Every day, your login data will be delivered to us by this app called Google Enterprise, which we are using to put you together for this course. So this is not a regular Google app. It's an enterprise version, a paid version. Data of your logging in and of your leaving the class comes to us. And I'm sorry, if your attendance is less than 80%, I will have to request Dr. Zishan to withhold your certificates. Another important thing is that we will have an MCQ today, and we'll also have an MCQ on the last day of the course. What we are requesting is that please appear for both the MCQs, and as you submit your scores, your responses, your scores will be auto-generated, and based on these two MCQs and your regularity, punctuality in the classroom, we will be giving you marks out of 20, and you will be given grades on the basis of the marks that you have obtained in 100, right? And within a couple of days, we will be issuing the certificate to you. Friends, please do not unmute yourself when the resource person is speaking. If you have to say something, you can raise your hand. We will give you an opportunity. Please do not present your screen. Please do not present your screen. Because if you're presenting your screen, it doesn't mean that you are present in the class. It means you want to show whatever is there on your laptop, on your mobile phone to the rest of us, and that disturbs the flow of the presentation of the resource person. And finally, join the classroom from your username. So if your name is Abid Shakil, then join from the name of Abid Shakil. If you're joining from your wife's name, if you're joining from your son's name, from your friend's name, your research scholar's name, I'm sorry, I will have to give the certificate to your friend, your wife, your research scholar, not to you. So whatever your email ID may be, please use the same username that you have given in your form. Because from that we calculate your attendance, from that we calculate your marks, from that we calculate your grade, and from that we give you your grade. So if your name is, let's say, Dr. Junaid Hassan, don't log in by an email ID which has the username of Concept Care. Some people do that. That is very confusing for us, for our technical and academic team, and we are not able to, give you the proper grades. So that's all. You will get all the lectures recorded on the group. Please be active on the group. We are recording these lectures for you. And if you are missing something because of some technical issue, you're most welcome to go through the lectures afterwards, make up for that. And you're most welcome to give us your comments, have an interaction with the resource person. The last half an hour is for that. So it's over to you, Dr. Zishan. It's your show from now on. The resource person in you. I'm sorry, Dr. Atique, because you are the inaugural chief guest of this session. We
No
took 10 minutes of your time,
worries.
but you will be kind enough to excuse us for that. So thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
me, my team, we are always here. You can always get in touch with us if there's anything. We will keep seeing you. And so over to Dr. Sisha.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice opening. And obviously, I remember that we have conducted so much program with the UGC HRTC AMU, and now the UGC MMTC. We are organizing the online Malvi Mission Teachers Training Program on NEP 2020 orientation and sensitization, and it is wonderful experience in the past, and obviously it will be in future also. And I like to although all the points already been covered by Dr. Faiza ma'am, director, UGC MMTC AMU Aligarh. I urge once again to all the participants that you need to understand that this is a very flagship program of Government of India, and the progress is monitored by a very, you can say, minutely. And I urge all the participants to attend all the sessions sincerely and punctually. Attendance is mandatory in all the sessions, so you have to attend it. So do not leave any session unattended. And since as Dr. Faiza ma'am already told us that the presence of your presence will be recorded electronically. So if it is too low in one session, it may be counted as not attended. So please don't do that. Take all sessions seriously and uh, try to learn as much as possible. This is another administrative part which I am telling you, but the major part, that is the academic part. Uh, there are a list of wonderful resource person you have in this training program. We all are faculty members, so teachers all. So we need to learn as much as possible. This is the positive side of it. So please take care of learning as well as administrative issues also. So I'll be my good wishes to all the participants that you may learn and enrich yourself and apply this knowledge in your teaching and to the student while teaching the students. And with this, I welcome also Dr. Muhammad Atique, that is Director, UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center of Amravati, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. Uh, I welcome you, sir. He is the first resource person of our training program, and he is a professor of computer science and engineering, a very renowned personality in his field, and uh, a very well-known researcher and academician, and I am sure you will learn a lot from him. I request Professor Muhammad Atique to carry forward, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zishan Khan sir, who is the coordinator And I hope I am loud and clear.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good afternoon to-
Yes, sir.
and very good
Yes,
afternoon
if you
to
want, you can present your screen also, Professor.
yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, you are very much audible.
Thank
Please
you.
go ahead.
Thanks for the confirmation, madam. And I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the director of UGC MMTC Aligarh Muslim University, Dr. Faiza Abbasi, madam, for giving an opportunity to interact with such a august gathering, I should say. As far as today's session is concerned, madam, I think you have talked a lot of perspective of I think NEP 2020. So one of the important aspect I'll be touching upon is that is how we can incorporate technology into our, you can say, teaching, learning, and other activities. So that is the theme of today's deliberation. Just allow me to share my presentation. And I would love to interact. Let's say if you can, as madam has said, if you can raise your hand in between, that is not an issue, right? If you can raise your hand, and then you can stop me at any point of time. Let's say if you feel like. Yeah, I hope my slides are visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the
Yes,
confirmation.
sir. It is visible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and this is, as I said, that is, I'll be talking on how we can incorporate technology in teaching, learning, and assessment. Right. So there are actually three different perspectives which I have taken, and the idea is that is how NEP is expecting, rather from NEP 2020 perspective, that is how one has to change as a teacher. That is the underlying theory which I would like to put forth before you. Right. And as far as today's session is concerned, certain learning objectives which I have identified. I was going through the list of participants which has been supplied by the UGC MMTC, and I came to know that most of you are from professional background. I also belong to a professional discipline, right? So people like those who directly enter into teaching without any sort of, I should say, undergoing any formal edtech kind of training, they face a lot of problems, okay, while you can say teaching, learning, and so on. So that's why I've kept these are the learning objectives which I have identified for today's session. But we'll be investing some quality time on understanding certain important, you can say, the aspects of teaching, learning, and instruction. Okay, apart from that, we will go ahead with what is called as what is teaching learning process in general, then what are the modes of learning, and what is transfer of learning, laws of learning, and so on. So we'll invest some maybe 20-25 odd minutes on about these 3 or 4 objectives which I have jotted down here. But my focal point, as I said, that is how we can use ICT particularly for assessment. So the second part is basically devoted to what is assessment and what is a SAMR model for assessment. That is, let's say if you want to use a ICT tool for assessment purpose, okay, so which particular tool is best or rather standard or not. So that we will examine with the help of the SAMR criteria. And at the end, we will have some hands-on if time permits. That is how we can use various technology-enabled assessment tool for carrying out assessment in particular. So wherein I have listed out hot potatoes, Socrative, ClassKit, NetLogo, and so on. Maybe Answer Garden if time permits, right? So these tools, I will not only demonstrate in the live environment, but let's say if you are working on your laptop or desktop, so simultaneously you can try hands-on on these tools. And this is what I think I have planned for maybe next 90 minutes. So having said that, let us begin with the very first aspect, is the various terms in psychologies of learning and instruction, right? So this is what we do in our day-to-day classroom kind of environment, but many times we use them interchangeably, but there is some difference between these two. That's why I've kept these fundamental aspects in the beginning. Okay, so there are some psychological learning terminologies. So we'll maybe investing some 4 or 5 minutes on understanding what is pedagogy, andragogy, teaching, training, and learning, right? So many of the time we feel that these terms are synonymous, or you can put a slash in between and you can very well use them. But there are some, I should say, there is some thin demarcation line between these terminologies. Okay, that we'll just try to understand, and then gradually we'll move ahead with some other aspects of teaching, learning, and so on. Then, as per the agenda, we'll go for various assessment tools. So I would love to know your perception about pedagogy. Pedagogy we toss many a times, okay, when it comes to teaching, learning, and so on. So any one of you can unmute yourself and you can come up with what pedagogy is all about. I'll be happy to. Yes. So my intention is to have a dialogue, right? And that's why I've intentionally. So if you are comfortable, I don't know. If you are comfortable, then you can simply unmute yourself and you can come up with your perception about pedagogy. Any one of you. So what do you feel what pedagogy is all about? Pedagogy. Anyway.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
if we talk about pedagogy in education, simply if we have to define that terminology, it's all about how you deliver that education, how you guide your students.
Yeah.
That's what the concept of the pedagogy tells us.
Okay. Okay. Pedagogy, as you have rightly pointed out, it is the method. Okay. It is the method and practice of, you can say, in a classroom kind of environment. Let's say if you are imparting. Yes, sir. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Anybody who wish to interact? See, you can unmute and then later on, it is expected that once you are finished, you can mute yourself once again. Right. So, anybody else? Okay, doesn't matter. Right. Let us move ahead. As I said, pedagogy is the method and practice of teaching. Okay, especially as an academic subject or the theoretical concept. So, whatever you do in a classroom kind of environment, you are adopting some or the other pedagogy, right? So it is the discipline that is see what is the underlying principle when it comes to pedagogy is that is how best to teach. Okay, that is how best to teach, and that's why the another name which has been given to this is it is also known as the theory of education. Okay, it is also known as the theory of education. So let's say you want to deliver on a particular topic in a classroom kind or chalk duster kind of environment. Okay, whatever approach you adopt is nothing but the pedagogy, right? It is nothing but the pedagogy, right? But what do we do? Let's say if I ask you to prepare for a say, let's say you have been assigned a particular task that you deliver a particular lecture on a particular topic. Okay, so how do you go ahead with rather when it comes to preparation and all? Okay, so normally we adopt a methodical approach. And what is that methodical approach? Normally, we follow 5 steps, which we may call it as a crucial components, okay, for preparing for a particular lecture or adopting a particular pedagogy, right? So the very first step is, what do? We prepare, right? We prepare the topic, preparation is there. Then we go for presentation, just like, for example, right now I'm delivering on a particular aspect. Okay, so I have prepared a presentation and now I'm delivering it. And then during delivery, what is expected is normally a teacher, when you start delivering on a particular topic, it is expected that you just try to associate the concept you are teaching with the real life scenarios by citing some examples and so on, right? So then generalization is there, and at the end we have, since I am from computer science or maybe any engineering or professional background, so our focal point is a little bit different. Whenever we talk about research in engineering and technology, we talk about applied research most of the time. I'm not saying all the time, but most of it. So because it is not basic sciences, right? So as a teacher, when you go for delivering on a particular topic, most of us, this is, I'm not saying that it is applicable to all, but most of us, we struggle when it comes to association, generalization, and application, right? So we treat most of the subject differently in a sense. Say for example, when I was undergoing my BTech at Government College of Engineering Amravati, I have been taught around 5 odd subjects of mathematics. Okay, that is applied mathematics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I'm not saying that those teachers were wrong, but actually they were not trained. That is how, let's say, a Fourier series or a Laplace transform, how it is being applied in digital image processing and in the other areas of computer science, that they have never ever taught us. The reason was because they were good in their domain and they felt that so we have learned mathematics in isolation and digital signal processing in isolation, and then at the final semester we realize, well, this is how it can be applied, right? So as a teacher, what I intend to say is, as a teacher, most of us, we struggle when it comes to association, generalization, and application, right? So let's say if you want to be good in teaching, so you have to have these 3 things as the quality of a good teacher, right? That is association, generalization, and application. Then the another terminology which I have listed out over there is the andragogy, right? Now, andragogy and pedagogy is little bit different. Andragogy is the method and practice of teaching adult learners. And I think most of the participants are from university setups. So whatever input you get, they are all grown-up students. They are all adult learners. Now you may ask, sir, what is the difference between teaching to a, you can say, even if, let's say, even if in a professional college, if you teach to a first-year student and if you teach to a finalist year student, things are altogether different, right? So adult learning, it was the term which was very first time tossed by Alexander Capp in 1833. And what is it? It is basically understanding, that is theory and supporting practice. So there are 2 perspectives of, you can say, the andragogy. And unfortunately, what do we do while delivering on a particular topic? We treat as if we are handling small kids, right? Many times. Okay, that is there. That is most of the time that is there in teacher's mind, right? So we ignore the practical aspects. Now, when you incorporate practical theory along with the practical, the approach is altogether different, right? So that's why, since the input is grown-up student or adult learners, okay, you need to give them different treatment. And you, instead of adopting a pedagogy, you need to adopt what is called as the andragogy. Now, how does it differ? The one aspect which I have told you is the theoretical as well as practical. That is one thing. And the other thing you need to keep in your mind, that is your role is now no more a teacher, you become a facilitator of learning. Okay, so you are not teaching, as a matter of fact, you are facilitating learning. Because if you look at the today's scenario, most of the students, they are equipped with, you can say, with lot of stuff, because ICT and the tools and all those things, they have made it possible, right? So they learn on their own most of the time, right? So your role is to simply facilitate learning. So facilitator, but we feel that we are teachers, so the idea is how you can transform an ordinary learner to a self-directed or autonomous learner. That is the philosophy of andragogy, right? Now, having said this, let us move ahead with, you can say, the other aspects of, again, teaching, learning. As I've told you that we will invest some 10-15 minutes on these aspects, because I feel that this is the building block, and then gradually we'll move ahead. So what is teaching? It is defined as an interactive process. So there has to be a dialogue while delivering in the session or a classroom kind of environment. Okay, it is expected that you must interact. It must be interactive. There should not be a monologue, right? Primarily involving classroom talks, okay, which takes place between teacher and student, right? And during a definable activities, thereby resulting in learning. So what is the output of teaching is the learning. Whenever you say teaching takes place, meaning thereby learning is happening, right? Now, most of us, we feel that teaching is the most easiest job. But if you look at the qualities of a good teacher, you will be astonished that what is expected from a good teacher, right? Some of the, I should say, the peculiar characteristics I have jotted down here. The creative proficiency of an artist, right? Good teacher, he must have a precise attitude of a scientist and the perfected skills of a craftsman. So even though these three lines seems to be pretty simple, but they are domain in themselves, right? It is not that easy. It is one of the most challenging job, I should say. Let's say if you are addressing to a 60 odd student in a class, you are having 60 challenges in front of you, because there are some slow learners, there are some fast learners, there are people with different capabilities and competencies, right? And you deliver in one monotonous way, right? So whether actually the learning will take place or not, it's a $1 billion question which needs to be addressed, right? Now, another term which we use most of the time is we put a slash between teaching and training. Okay, that is again, that's why I've kept this intentionally on the slide. That is, training is another thing, but training is different from, you can say, the teaching. Okay, because when you undergo a training, okay, what is expected is there are some peculiar characteristics of a training. It is basically of a shorter duration. It is expected to give immediate result. That is, let's say if you want to learn how to drive a car, so you will not join any college for that purpose. You will joining a training institute, driving training institute, okay, wherein you will undergo maybe 8-week or 12-week course, and you will be taught that is how to handle clutch, brake, gear, and so on. So directly day one itself, they will teach you some theoretical aspects, maybe 40-45 minutes, and they will ask you to drive the car. Okay, somebody will assist you definitely, right? But it is basically of a shorter duration, and it is expected to give immediate result. And if you look at the historical perspective, it has evolved in World War II. Okay, so what has happened actually? There were dearth of, I should say, the soldiers. So what they did basically, they trained the ordinary citizens, and they, I should say, asked them to participate in the war. Train them for handling the warfare equipment and so on. So training is a little bit different, and teaching is different. And similarly, one more term is there, what we use very casually again most of the time, is the learning. Now, if you look at learning, okay, as I said, that is when the teaching takes place, meaning thereby learning is happening. So learning is relatively permanent change in behavior resulting from reinforced practice, right? There are some points which I have jotted down here. It is a process as well as a product. Now, you may say, when you took admission in a particular course, you undergo a process of 3 years or 4-year duration, and then you are transformed into a product, and then you apply for a job, and when you get the job, there you are tested as a product of a particular XYZ university or XYZ college, right? So that's why it is not only a process, it is a method, it is a, you can say, systematic process, and then you are transformed into a product, and that product is basically known by the name of the institution. So it is the nature or tendency of human being, right? So again, many times we feel that the teaching or the learning, it takes place in the classroom kind of environment. That is again false, right? So it is the nature. See, you learn from your peers. Many times you learn from your seniors. Many times you learn from your juniors, and so on. And it is the process of mental development. Now, this is little bit important to understand, and based on this, we will just move ahead with what are the various domains of learning. So, as I said, it is the process of mental development. So there are 3 perspectives. One is the cognitive, second is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. Now here, I feel that I need to mention, if you look at our education system, okay, we give undue importance to the cognitive domain. Okay, cognitive domain. Okay, now if you look at the NEP talks about a holistic approach which incorporate not only cognitive but also affective and psychomotor domain. Right. So we'll have a detailed look at those aspects in the slides to come. It is both positive and negative. So all the time we feel that whenever learning is happening, see positive lines, that is again not the case. Many times it is positive and as well as negative. It is individual in nature. So your learning speed or my learning speed will be definitely different, right? Learning is creative. It makes you a critical thinker, right? So having said all these about teaching, learning, and I should say the training, right? Let us have a look at the basic teaching model. So this is a typical, you can say a basic teaching model. So wherein we have got 4 boxes, rather 4 processes. Okay, the very first one is the instructional objectives. So whenever a student enters into a class, let's say you have entered into this particular session, so you may be having your own perception about NEP 2020. So over a period of maybe next 8 days, you will learn, maybe you will digest certain things about NEP and your most of the myth, whatever is there in your mind, okay, it will change. So entering behavior, that is the 0 test. So ideally there has to be a 0 test. Okay, then you undergo instructional procedure, and at the end normally we have in our conventional education system as well, we have a performance assessment. So we'll be focusing more on this performance assessment okay, in the latter portion of my deliberation. But before moving ahead, we need to, you may ask, sir, what is the best pedagogy for a particular subject or for a particular topic? So there's nothing like that. So 1,000 teacher, 1,000 methods. This is a Chinese proverb which tells you everything about that. Is, see, there is no one single pedagogy which one can adopt for imparting instruction to a particular set of students and so on, right? So basic teaching model. There are, as I said, that now let us move to 3 domains which we have talked earlier. The very first domain is the cognitive. What does this cognitive means? It is the knowledge and intellectual skills, right? It is the knowledge and the intellectual skill. So if you look at our present education pattern or the system in general, we give undue focus to knowledge and intellectual skills, right? If you look at the affective domain, wherein emotions and attitudes are involved, okay, we do not give them that much importance, okay. And the third one, it is up to some extent, it is addressed by the present system as well, that is the psychomotor, wherein physical or kinesthetic, that is I should say the kinesthetic learning, it means the physical activity, right, or the movement and touch, okay, maybe hands-on, something like that. So again, that is missing in our curricula, right? So how you can involve the student for the affective and the psychomotor, okay? But ideally, if you look at any education system, we must give them equal importance. Let's say maybe 33% each, okay? Then and then we can claim that the product which we are going to produce, okay, it will be employable, right? So having said that, let us try to dig this in a greater detail. Okay, so teaching learning process, let us try to understand this cognitive in a greater detail. Now, if you look at the, now this I'll be talking here onwards, I'll be talking in terms of assessment. If you look at the question papers, okay, most of the question paper and the questions, if you examine, they give undue focus to understanding, problem solving, deriving a formula and application, right? At max, okay, that is again the application part is little bit missing, maybe 5-10% weightage, not more than that. When it comes to affective, are there any subjects which talks about values, attitudes, interest, discipline? Again, that is somewhat missing, okay. And psychomotor, as far as technology and you can say the science and technology and these faculties are concerned, there we have, you can say, provisions for this, that is practical skills, driving, assembling, painting, and so on. But if you look at the other faculties, like say humanities and arts, okay, this is missing. And this NEP has introduced a concept called internship, irrespective of your discipline, whether you are from science or humanities or commerce. Okay, they have made some 6 months internship compulsory, right? So that is the you can say the major change which has been proposed by NEP 2020, right? Now, if you just try to dig this in a greater detail, you will find that they are basically derived from 3 important domains: cognitive domains, as I have told you, wherein we talk about the knowledge; psychomotor is represented by skills; and affective domain, which is represented by attitudes. Now, you may be technically very good, theoretically very good, but most of the time, if you look at the, you can say the corporate world, they do not prefer meritorious students. Okay, and if you simply ask them, they will come up with the answer, "Ki, sir, this student is very good academically, but if you say why you reject him or her, then they will come up, sir, the problem is he or she may be very good technically, theoretically, but when it comes to attitudes, maybe working in a team, so individually you may be very good, but when it comes to working in a team, okay, so your attitude is equally important, right?" So, and then they say that he is not a good fit for our organizational culture, okay, and that's why we reject them, right? Because if you are a little bit less in terms of knowledge, you can be very well trained. If you are a lifelong learner, you can be trained. But if your attitude, if there is something wrong with your attitude, then definitely it needs a lot of energy and time to train you, right? So if you dig these things in a greater detail, you will find that it has been proposed by Bloom's. Okay, Dr. Benjamin Bloom. This is not at all new. This theory is not at all new. It was proposed by Dr. Benjamin Bloom and his team way back in 1956. Okay, and it talks about the intellectual behavior which is important in learning. Okay, and this theory is also known as the instructional theory. Okay, so what Mr. Bloom has proposed is he has proposed a tool or a theory of learning, which is also known as the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, wherein he talks about everything from scratch to finish. That is, it is a tool for instructor to assist with writing learning outcomes, right? If you remember, the very first slide I put is nothing but the learning outcomes or the learning objective for this particular session. From that point onwards to curriculum planning, content delivery, as well as assessment, which is the last phase. And accordingly, he has categorized this, rather classified this into 6 different levels. And they are also known as the Bloom's level of learning and so on. So, but when he conducted some study, he found that over 95%, when it comes to assessment, 95% of these test questions student encounter require them to think only at the lowest possible level, that is recall level. And that's why we say that we give undue importance to knowledge, which is the bottommost level, right? But if you look at the other perspective, things are altogether different, right? So knowledge is there, which is undoubtedly, I am not saying that the knowledge is not needed, knowledge is undoubtedly needed, right? But you must have the other qualities as well, other levels, questions based on other levels as well. And what are those levels is the comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, right? So these are the 6 levels which he has proposed, and this is also known as the Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives, right? So what was his observation? He proposed that we need to have definitely few questions on knowledge, but at the same time, the other level we must try to. So we must move from, that is the output. Now, if you look at this diagram, you can very well understand that the prerequisite for comprehension is knowledge. Prerequisite for application is knowledge as well as comprehension. Okay, and so on and so forth. So, so you have to have, let's say, if you want to work at the evaluation level, which is the highest level, okay, or a critical thinking level, okay, which is the highest level, you have to have the rest of the 5 things with you. Then you can flourish. Okay. So each level has a list of action verbs. So he has jotted down certain action verbs which can be used for defining the learning objectives, even setting the question paper and so on. Wherein remember is the lowest level, which is the knowledge level. Okay. and each setup builds on the one below, requiring the a higher level of thinking and more difficult learning activities. So when you start from, you can say, the bottom, the difficulty level is the lowest, and when you move in the upward direction, the difficulty level is highest. That is, evaluation or synthesis has the highest level of difficulty, right? So accordingly, you need to set your papers. Now, he has suggested certain keywords, okay, which one must use while setting the question paper, okay. If you look at the left-hand side, all those skills are jot down there. That is knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Right-hand side, these keywords are important. That is, if you are working at the knowledge level, you must use keywords like, say, identify, describe, name, label, recognize, reproduce, and so on. Okay, comprehension, summarize, convert, defend, and so on, right? When you are working at the application level, now if you look at any of your previous year's papers, irrespective of the university you are working with or the institution, now most of the institutions are nowadays, they are autonomous, right? Academic autonomy has been awarded to almost all the A+ institutions, those who have scored NAC A+ grade, right? So just look at these keywords, you hardly find them, particularly the synthesis and the evaluation. That is generalize, reconstruct, appraise, critique, judge, justify, argue, and support, right? So how we can work on the higher level, that is the mantra here, right? Now, you can use Bloom's as a tool for working at various levels, right? Maybe for writing the learning outcomes, that is COPOs and so on. Curriculum mapping, again, Bloom's level can be very well used. And the last one, which is our focal point of discussion, is that is how we can use Bloom's to assess or measure the students' performance. For that purpose, again, you can use Bloom's level, right? So I'll not go into the details because I think we have around 30 odd minutes with me. Okay, so we will 30 to 45 minutes. So we'll be moving as far as the theoretical aspect is concerned. My intention is to expose you to n number of tools, okay, which will make your life easier when it comes to assessment and so on. So within 5-10 minutes, we will complete this theoretical stuff. Let us move ahead with, you can say, the structure of course content. That is, as I've told you, that is difficulty level increases when you work at the bottom, that is the knowledge level. It is the easiest sort of thing, that is define certain thing, or maybe explain a particular concept and so on. Okay, but moment you move upward, okay, the difficulty level it goes on increasing, right? That is the point which is to be noted. Okay, now what has happened after Bloom's taxonomy? One of his student, Lauren Anderson, he has come up with certain small modification to the original Bloom's taxonomy, and that is known as the revised Bloom's taxonomy. So he has made only 2 changes, okay, and which is being adopted nowadays almost by all the premier educational institutions, right? So changing the names in the 6th category from noun to verb. So we were working on knowledge, so he has changed from that knowledge to, we will have a look at. So he has simply changed the noun to verbs. That is one major change he has carried out, and which is very obvious and I should say appropriate. Then the second change he has carried out is he has interchanged the 5th and 6th level. That is evaluate as the 5th level and creativity he has placed at the top, which was again very obvious and very logical, right? So these are the 2 changes he has made, that is Lauren Anderson, and he has come up with a revised Bloom's taxonomy, which is something like this. That is knowledge he has replaced by remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So creativity is the highest level, okay, and evaluate, these 2 things he has simply interchanged. Their position he has interchanged, and this is also known as the revised Bloom's taxonomy, which is nowadays adopted by almost all. Let us go ahead with the assessment, right? Now, let's say if you are working with, you are designing a question paper wherein you are using some MCQs, you are using something like, say, summarize an article, and you are using some analyze some case study, creating a spreadsheet. So at which particular level you are working, if you use these kind of, you can say, tools for evaluation purpose. So if you are using MCQs, you are basically working on the remember, that is the bottommost level, knowledge, right, or remember level. Okay. If you are asking the student to summarize an article, you are basically working at the understand level. Okay, and so on and so forth. Right. So ideally, we must start from first level, and then gradually we must try our level best to go to the topmost level, which is the sixth level. Right. So before moving ahead with the assessment and all, okay, we need to understand what are the problems the education sector in general, particularly the higher education or the professional education in general is facing. If you look at our system, I request, I don't know who is speaking, but anyway.
Dear participants, you are requested to mute your mic first.
Yeah, please mute
Please.
yourself.
Mr. Kamar Alam.
Yes. Anyway, right now I have jotted down some of the problems which are faced by our educational institute in general. Okay, when it comes to, you can say, assessment and all. So we give undue focus on certification, undue focus on marks, because we have a fixed passing criteria. Hello. I'm sorry. Sir, if you can mute them, then it would be better. Okay. Anyway. All right. Hello.
Sir, I think please continue.
Okay, sorry. I hope my slides are visible. Yes.
No, sir, not yet.
No, sir.
Now?
Yes. Now
Okay.
it is.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about the problems in assessment when it comes to higher education in general. So we give undue focus on certification, undue focus on marks. Say for example, 39 you declare as fail, and somebody scores 40 you declare. So what is the solution? Solution is we have to have a flexible passing criteria, okay, which is being adopted by most of the premier institutions like NITs, IITs, and so on, right? So that is the solution. Okay, then lack of quality feedback. Earlier we were very reluctant to face feedbacks, particularly teaching community. Okay, now AICT has made it mandatory that you have to have a feedback mechanism in place. NAC and NBA and all, they again ask for 360-degree feedback. Then lack of assessment of higher level outcomes. Now I am referring to the Bloom's taxonomy, which we have discussed at length. Okay, so normally we work on 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6 are missing in our evaluation system. Then lack of assessment of complex outcome, that is again missing. Okay, and most of the institution, as I said, they have been awarded academic autonomy. Okay, they go for liberal marking. Okay, normally what do? I'm not saying that it is applicable to all, but these are the problems we are facing as a educational institution. Okay, but in my opinion, you are the biggest enemy of the students. Okay, if you go for liberal marking sort of thing, right? Because when they get through in the examination with 9.5 pointer, and when they go to industry, they are not employable. So what is the use of such kind of education system, right? Then lack of assessment culture and language of assessment. So we need to understand that assessment is equally important. Okay, teaching is undoubtedly important, but at the same time, when it comes to assessment, and assessment requires a lot of effort. Okay, that is what we will see, right? So what is the difference between assessment and evaluation? Assessment is basically, it is a continuous process. It is an ongoing process. That's why many times we say we put continuous in front of it. It is an ongoing process aimed at understanding and improving the student learning. That is how you can move ahead with the, you can say, the in the positive direction. What is evaluation? It is judgment or determination of quality of a performance or product or use of a process against standards. So when your student enter into industry, there they are basically evaluated, right? and whatever you do when it comes to examination, maybe term end or CT1, CT2, and so on, that is assessment, right? So we'll be focusing on what is assessment and what are the various types of assessment. That is, we'll just try to, and what are the various ICT tools available for assessment and so on, right? So before moving ahead, we need to understand that this is a very on a lighter note. Cooking is easy, but washing the utensil is difficult. So similarly, lecturing in a class is easy, but conducting assessment is difficult. What I'm saying, why I'm saying so, the reason is, let's say if you want to deliver on a particular topic, okay, for 45 minutes or 1 hour, you can very well do that. When you have been asked to evaluate the student on that particular topic, it requires a lot of effort. So setting question papers, but we in general, the teaching community, we take it very casually. Okay, we are not serious about when it comes to assessment, that is setting question paper. How to set a question paper, that itself require one complete session. So I'll not go in that direction. My focus is little bit different. Okay, so that is how you can transform, how you can make those learners from an ordinary learner to a successful learner. That has to be the philosophy when it comes to assessment and so on. Now, having said that, how we can use technology for assessment purpose. Okay, so I feel that T is the abbreviation, right? Technology enabled assessment. That is what we are going to look at, and what are the various tools, ICT tool in particular, which one can use for assessment purpose. Okay, again, there are various types of assessment activities, maybe objective testing, subjective testing. So earlier these ICT tools were having limitation when it comes to, you can say, subjective assessment, but nowadays again those features are very much available. So we'll be exploring all those aspects of ICT tool, wherein not only you can test the objective, but you can go for a subjective assessment as well, right? There is another type of assessment called as the diagnostic assessment. That is presenting the low stake. Okay, that is what is the current status. It is sort of, you can say, the diagnostic test which can be used for determining the problems the students are facing when it comes to assessment and so on. Okay, so summative assessment, all these tools are the integrative assessment is there. Okay, wherein you can create some activities on digital devices for integrative purpose, and again you can go for assessment and so on. So all these aspects we will just try to learn from various tools. Okay, so certain tools which I have listed out here. The very first tool is the diagnostic assessment. Some of the tools you may be using. Google Form, I think most of you must be using in your day-to-day teaching learning environment, right? But hot potatoes, flickers, okay. For formative assessment, we have Classkick, hot potatoes, formative answer garden. Again, we'll have a look at answer garden if time permits. And summative assessment, once again, hot potatoes is there. Feedback, you have various tools like Classkick, Flipgrid, okay. Project work or laboratory work, Rubister, ePortfolio. And for collaborative learning assessment, we have another set of tools called as like say FlipGuard, Geoparty Lab, ePortfolio, and so on. But within this limited time, I'll not be able to touch upon almost all, but we'll just try to look at some of the very popular and standard tool. One of them is hot potatoes. As you can see that the hot potatoes is common when it comes to, you can say, the diagnostic assessment or a formative assessment or a summative assessment, right? So hot potatoes, we will just try to have a look at in a greater detail. Apart from that, we will look at answer garden, okay. We will look at maybe Socrative, which is an online tool, okay, and so on and so forth. But before moving ahead with these tools, okay, the last but one topic, if you remember on my slide, was that is how to identify whether a particular tool is a standard or not. So for that purpose, you can use a SAMR model, okay. And SAMR model, it was basically proposed by Dr. Rubin, and it talks about 4 important aspects of, you can say, the evaluation or online tool particularly, right? The very first tool, first criteria talks about it is substitution. We will just try to apply this on Google form itself, and we'll just conclude whether it is a standard tool or not. So if you look at substitution, that is, students can fill out the forms online. Yes, this facility is there in Google Forms, right? Augmentation, teachers can curate the students' response on the spreadsheet automatically. Again, this is very much there in Google Form, right? Modifications, teachers and student both can collaboratively analyze, contrast, and compare results immediately after individual fills out the form. Again, this feature is there. Redefinition, that is, teachers can reach unlimited learners all around the world. So again, redefinition is very much there in Google Form. So in short, we can conclude that Google Form satisfies the SIMR criteria, and hence it is a standard tool which one can use for evaluation purpose, right? So accordingly, whatever tool I'll be discussing, they are all standard tools. Okay, they satisfy this SIMR criteria, so you can very well use them in your day-to-day teaching learning activities, right? So the very first tool which I have told you is the Hot Potato 7, right? Hot Potato 7. Hot Potato 7, basically, it is a bundle of 5 different utilities, small utilities. And the very important feature of Hot Potato is it is a freeware, right? I'm not saying that it is a free and open source software. It is a completely freeware. You can download this particular utility. I'll tell you that is how to download and how to install, and then how you can make various exercises. Say, as I said, it is a bundle of 6 different utilities. So JQuiz is there for making a quiz. JClose is there for creating a fill in the blanks exercise. JCross one can use for creating a crossword puzzle. JMatch you can use for creating a match the following sort of exercise, and JMix you can use for jumbled sentence exercise. Okay, and then you have a JMatcher, which can be used for creating 1 unit out of the 5 exercises which you have created earlier by using JQuiz, JClose, JCross, JMatch, and JMix. So all these 5, if you want to build it as a one single unit and you want to pass it on to the student for evaluation purpose, you can very well do that with the help of JMatcher, right? So we'll have a hands-on on this particular tool. Okay, we'll just try to create various exercises using all these utilities, and we'll just try to build 1 unit, okay, using a JMatcher as well, right? These are some screenshots. Okay, so I'll not go into the details here right now. I'll demonstrate you all these utilities in the live demonstration. Okay, this is for fill in the blank sort of exercise. This is for a crossword sort of exercise, right? How to create it, that I will demonstrate, right? This is match the following sort of exercise, and this is a jumbled word exercise made with JMix. Okay, now what is the key takeaway as far as this session is concerned? That is, you must try to move yourself from the bottommost level, which is the knowledge level, to the highest level, which is the creativity level, right? So as a evaluator or as a examiner, okay, you have to keep in your mind that is how you can move upward, that is from knowledge to the creativity. That is the crust of the story. Okay, now I will demonstrate all these tools, okay, whatever I have talked about just now. Okay, before that, if you have any question, I'll be happy to take. Anybody who wish to ask? Yes.
सर इसको 1-2 करके लाइव दिखाएंगे ना, तो ज्यादा समझ में आ
जी,
जाता है।
दिखाई रहा हूँ, ठीक है। I'll show you, don't worry, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Sir, firstly, I'm very thankful for you to exposing us to such this wonderful knowledge regarding this Bloom's taxonomy. Although we were exposed to this thing, but I didn't have, personally talking, I didn't have enough knowledge regarding this. But all thanks to you,
Okay.
sir. I just want to know, as far as assessment of a student is concerned. Say, for example, if you are assessing a student on basis of Bloom's taxonomy, so from the perspective of a teacher, it will be possible for him once we are done with this examination. Say, for example, if there is term 1, term 2, and term 3. Say, for example, if we are assessing a student on the basis of term 1, we cannot have those Bloom's taxonomy levels in that term. maybe we are conducting that very examination after term one, and we won't be finding those all taxonomies levels in that very unit. Against it, we are conducting the examination. So, is it like we have to start assessing the student from the very beginning? And how is it possible when we will be confronting such challenges when we won't be having all the levels of taxonomy at the very beginning level?
Okay. I hope, I think you intend to ask that, let's say out of 6 units, you have taught 1 or 2 units. So you mean to say you will not be able to cover all these 6 levels in unit
Yes,
1
sir.
or 2. That is
Yes,
what
sir.
you intend to say.
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is a real-time difficulty which you have posed, but the solution is pretty simple. As I have told you, that is, if you have a mix of, if you remember one slide where I was talking about, that is, if you are setting multiple choice question, you are working at Bloom's level 1. Okay.
Yes.
If you are having
Yes,
a descriptive sort of question, okay, and you are using the respective keywords which is being proposed under the Bloom's taxonomy, okay,
yes, sir.
of the respective category, then you can very well achieve that. I don't think, but you may find problem when it comes to creativity and so on. That I
Yes,
will
sir.
agree. That I will agree.
Yeah.
That's 5th and 6th level, I will agree. But up to 4, I don't think there is any problem.
Now, sir, up to 4, we don't experience that kind of difficulty. But when it comes to the 5th and 6th level, we do experience that when it comes
Yeah,
to the term
fifth
level
and sixth,
exams.
fifth and sixth level, actually, you can try only at the end sem examination, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, because there are issues. You are very right, because you have not taught the entire subject. Okay, only 10% of the portion is over. So it is very difficult to assess them. And you have a CT1, CT2, if I am not wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you have a 60 end sem examination. But
Yes, sir.
end
Yes.
sem examination, you can try all these, right? That is
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
okay. Now let me just allow me to demonstrate these tools. Okay, give me some 10-15 minutes. So there are few more people who have raised hand. So what to do? Now you just tell me whether I should take up your question first and then demonstrate. Pallavi madam is there, then Kashif Asad is there, and 2 more other people, they have raised hands. Sir, you can, if your query is pretty small, then no problem. We can go ahead with that. Or otherwise, let me demonstrate this. Okay. You can unmute, okay, simultaneously. So I was talking about hot potatoes. Any one of you have used this particular tool? Hot potato? Anyway. All right. I hope I am loud and clear, right? So let's say if you are not well acquainted with this tool, what you need to do is go to Google and simply say hot potato download. Okay, you will find this particular page. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to you. Anyone will just confirm?
Yes, 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 sir. Yes.
हाँ. तो अब करना कुछ नहीं है. There is no rocket science involved here. Go to this download section. Okay, go to this hot potatoes 7.0 installer. Okay, I have installed it multiple times, so I will not install it. But let's say if you are working on a desktop, you can try some hands-on. Okay, so you can save this particular file, and once you have saved it, you simply double-click on that particular file. Okay, and start installing the program. It will next 2-3 buttons will be there, and once you are through with the installation, okay, the small utilities will be installed on your machine. Okay, let us try to, since I have installed it on my machine, I'll demonstrate you. Yeah, this is hot potato. Something like this you will find. Now you need to run it. I am opening up this application. As I have told you, this is a freeware. Okay, you need not have to pay any single pi for downloading this. It is completely free. Okay. So now I hope you can see my screen. Okay, as I have told you that this is a bundle of utilities wherein you have JClose, JQuiz, JCross, JMix, and JMatch. So these are the 5 utilities.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, It is asking for username.
You can put your name, sir. No issue.
Okay.
Okay, not a problem, right? So if some of you again you are trying, you can just ask me if you are facing any problem. Okay, go to, let's say, let us try to create a crossword. Okay, so I am simply clicking on Zishan sir, if you are through. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
ठीक है सर. हाँ, तो आगे देखिए, अगर आप, मैंने अभी क्या किया, थोड़ा simultaneously you can try all these things. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am simply clicking on J cross. I want to create a crossword sort of exercise. Okay. So I have clicked on a J cross. Okay. This is the screen you will find. Okay. Now you can go to this manage grid. Okay. There you will find automatic grid maker. Okay. Click on that. If I am fast, you can ask me to repeat a particular step.
No, sir. Please continue.
All right, ठीक है, चलिए. So let us try to create a quiz. Oh, sorry, crossword. So these are the keywords normally. Now the only thing you need to remember is only one keyword per line. That is, let's say sister I have given. Okay, now I'll type the second keyword as tour. Let us say one more UK and so on. Okay. Now once you are done with this, okay, one keyword per line. Okay, one keyword per line. So after typing sister, hit enter key. After typing tour, hit enter key. After typing UK, hit enter key, and so. Right. Now on the right hand side, you will find that there is a make the grid button. Click on that. Now if you click on make the grid, you will find a grid appearing on your screen. Right. Now usually, okay, when you just try to create the crossword, okay, you must give the clues. Okay, so on the left hand side under the title bar, okay, title you can give anything, whatever you feel appropriate. Okay, and then you have an add clue button. So there you type, okay, simply click on add clues. This particular screen will pop up. Okay, now click on sister. Okay, and whatever clue you intend to give, you can type over here. Female sibling. Okay, click on OK. Go to UK and then type, let's say, European country as the clue. Okay, now the third one is their tour. Okay, tour ko let us type trip as the clue and click on OK. Okay, then at the end click on OK. Now we are done with the clues and the keyword. Okay, now we want to launch this. So before that, actually it is better if you save it with some name. Okay, I am saving it, crossword exercise. Okay, I am overwriting it. Say yes. Okay, or you can give any file name, whatever suits you. Okay, then go to this particular section, go to the configuration menu, that is just beside this question mark, which is a help menu. Okay, you have a configuration screen, so click on that. Okay, under configuration you can configure this layout of your exercise. You can change the color, you can set the timer, and very many things you can do. Okay, we will try a few of them. Let us see. For setting the timer, okay, click on timer, then set the timer as maybe 1 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you feel appropriate. Here you can type the message what you intend to type at the end of the examination. That is, this statement will appear at the end of the examination. Okay, then click on OK. So you have set the timer. Now another thing, as I have told you, you can try the appearance. By default it is gray and black sort of layout is there. You can change that layout by simply clicking on this right hand side tab, okay, and selecting the appropriate color you intend to select. Let's say, okay, some color I have selected. Click on OK. All right, Now, simply go to this 7 kind of symbol, export to create hot potatoes 7. Okay. Simply click on that. Acha, one clue is remaining. I don't know which particular clue we have. Yeah. So this UK was remaining. That's why it was giving error. So you can type European country and don't forget to click on OK so that it will be added. Okay. Now let us try to build the exercise. So that was the reason we got some error over there. Okay. So now simply click on this 7. Okay. Again, it will ask you to give some name or save the exercise. Okay. So I'm overwriting it and then simply say yes. Okay. Now view the exercise in my browser. Click on that button. The exercise will appear like this. And if you can see here, the timer it has started at 5 minutes. Okay. And it is gradually ticking up. Okay. Now let's say I want to attempt this particular exercise. I can very well do that. Simply click on 1. Okay. The clue will appear. You can type the answer over here. Okay. And hit enter key. Okay. Sister, maybe trip. Okay. You can type the second one, tour, hit enter key. And the third one as, let's say, UK. Okay. Hit enter key. And check the answers. So correct, well done. Your score is 100%. So this is how you can create various exercises. This is the one which I have demonstrated here. Okay. So on the parallel line, you can go for creation of, what should I say? Let's say again, open it. Okay, match the following you can create. Okay. Let's say you want to create match the following exercise. This sort of screen will appear. Okay, you can give some name, title to this. Exercise 1, maybe on left hand side, and typing some names of the cities which are famous for, let's say, Nagpur, oranges. Vandana madam, please mute yourself.
बंद हो गया क्या?
Mr. Tariq, Mr. Tariq,
गायब हो गया था अभी.
Mr. Tariq Sagir,
ये मैं रख लेते हैं, इसको स्क्रीन लॉक कर
please
दें.
mute.
स्क्रीन लॉक कर दें. स्क्रीन लॉक क्या ला रहा है?
Mr. Tariq Sagir,
सर आप म्यूट कर सकते हो तो देखिए. Okay. All right. So Kolhapur for, let's say, leather industry. Okay. And so on. Now, on the left-hand side, you can see here, left-hand side, either you can fix the position or you can fix the right answer. Okay. And so on. So theoretically speaking, you can have n number of questions here. There is no limit as such, right? You may have 10,000 or 20,000 questions here, right? So again, the rest of the procedure is very common. You can go for appearance, timer, and so on. For just saving the time, I will not go into the details of those things, but let us try to build it using this one. Okay. So I am saving it. Now I can view the exercise in the browser. Now this is the match the following sort of exercise is appearing. So let's say oranges, Nagpur. Okay. Amravati is for cotton, and Kolhapur we have a leather industry. So check the answer, your score is 100%. So this way you can create 5 different sorts of exercises. You can create a quiz using JQuiz. You can create a, what should I say, JMatch for match the following exercise. You can create JMix for jumbled statements, right? And fill in the blanks and so on, right? Now, once you are done with that, okay, you can use the masher. You remember, right? So if you allow me, I'll directly show you the masher, because my idea is, that is, I don't know how much time is left, but I would love to share some few more tools with you, right? So masher, as I have told you, it can be used for building one single exercise out of the exercises whatever you have made. ठीक है ना? तो अब यहाँ पे आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, simply click on masher and go for this add file button and simply click select all the files which you intend to create as a one unit. ठीक है, मैं अभी randomly select कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, इसलिए आपको थोड़ा सा ये लगेगा. Then simply say OK to all, and then at the bottom, if you can see, you have an option called, or a button called build unit. Click on build unit. Okay. Okay, so it will build one particular unit out of the exercises whatever you have made, and the same single unit you can share with your student community. Okay, they can attempt all those questions, okay, in a single unit. Okay, now randomly I have picked so many files. Now this is the typical output from the JMasher. Okay, now let's say I want to appear for exercise 1 or matching exercise or another exercise 1 or a crossword. I can simply click on that particular thing. Now, the moment I have clicked, you can say the exercise 1 matching exercise is appearing, right? So wherein you can select the answers, you can appear, then the second will appear and so on, right? So I hope, I think as far as hot potatoes is concerned, okay, we have seen almost everything with regard to hot potatoes. So it is a bundle of, as I have told you, 5 different utilities, and it is a freeware. Okay, it is a freeware which you can download and you can start using it. Right. Now let us move ahead with some other tool. Okay, what is called as, again, this is, as I have told you, this satisfies the SAMR criteria. So it is a standard tool. I'm talking about hot potatoes. Okay, let us move ahead with a tool called Socrative. Yes, sir.
Sir, sorry to disturb you. Just one question.
Yeah.
When we have created the test and it is shown on the web page.
Yes, sir.
To share with the student by sharing the link of the appearing on the browser.
Actually, there are 2 ways, sir. That will be either you can conduct it on your intranet. Let's say you are having 40 machines which are connected with one another. Then whatever you said, that approach will work. But
Okay.
let's say if you want to go for an online kind of environment, then in that case, you need to put all these exercises on your maybe Google Classroom, and you have to create a link, and that link you need to share with the student.
Okay. Okay, understand, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So there are 2 ways. If you are conducting on your intranet, then there is no need to go for Google Classroom and all. But let's say if you are conducting on online mode, then you need to put all these files on your Google Drive, and then you can share, or Google Classroom, and then you can share with the rest of the student community. Okay, sir?
Sir, how we get the answers of that? Result means?
अभी तो दिखाया सर मैंने आपको, attempt किया. I think I have attempted all the question and shown you the result itself. Right. So evaluation is again done automatically, sir. Right. That is what I have demonstrated when I have appeared for the. So say for example, this exercise I have appeared for as a student, and I am clicking on 1. Okay. So 1, then it will ask me to type the answer. So I am typing sister here. Okay. And go for enter. तो इसके बाद में स्कोर दिखाता ना, वेल करेक्ट, वेल डन, योर स्कोर इज 100%. यहाँ अगर आप कोई आंसर गलत देंगे तो उसका आंसर अकॉर्डिंगली वो स्कोर चेंज होगा आपका. ठीक है.
No, sir, I am talking about the cumulative result of all the students who have attempted the questions.
Sir, it will be there on your machine itself. In the application, it will be created.
Okay, sir.
Application, that is the local host. ठीक है, या अगर आप इस पे कर रहे हैं, गूगल क्लासरूम पे कर रहे हैं, तो it will be there on your Google Classroom, right?
Sure, sir. Okay.
Yes. Now the second is the Socrative. ठीक है, Socrative is an online tool which is equally powerful, and there are two sorts of, I should say, login as far as this is concerned. Okay, one is the teacher login and the second is the student login. So being a teacher, basically you need to sign up using your Gmail or any social media platform ID, right? And when it comes to student, actually they did not have to sign. You need to simply share your classroom code, just like we share the Google Classroom code with the student community, and they can appear for the examination. So right now I'll show you the teacher sign up. Okay. Okay. So I have created one exercise. Okay, that login, so that it will not consume more time. I don't know. We have to wind up to 2 minutes are left only.
Sir, take your time, sir. Don't worry.
The second resource person will join. That's the issue.
Yeah, actually, his time is 5. I think 5:45.
All right, then no problem. No, then no problem. I will. I will continue for 10-15 minutes more. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, please.
Okay. So Socrative, as I was talking about, is an online tool which is equally powerful. Okay. Okay, so this is my account which I have created. In your case, actually, you have to sign it up, okay, with your Gmail ID or whatever, okay, you feel appropriate. Okay, so once you sign in, but the problem with this tool is, it is demo version is free and pro version is basically paid. Okay, that's why I'm showing it a little bit. So you have a Get Pro kind of thing, if you can see here, right? This is my abbreviated login credential, and this is the room I was talking about. That is Atique 6972 is the room which I have created for conducting the test. Now, if you look at this, you will find that again it has all those functionalities, whatever we have talked about with the hot potatoes. That is, you can send multiple choice question, true, false, short answer, and so on, or maybe quiz and so on, right? Then you have a live result, okay, and so on. Okay. So live, let's say I have to launch the test first of all. So you need to go for this launch activity. Okay. Now under launch, you have these many things available here. Again, that too on your fingertip simply. That is, if you feel that the student's name should appear, then you can make them this as on or off accordingly, right? So this setting you can do, you can try. Then you have shuffle question. You can shuffle the question. Maybe 5 questions will be there, but they will appear in 5 different manner to all the student community. Shuffle the answer. Even you can shuffle the answer. You can show question feedback. That is again the facility available. You can hide the score, or you can show the score, show the final score, and so on, right? So then there is a launch button. Okay, go for this launch. Okay, now it is saying starting activity. Now at present, since there is no student, okay, but what you can do, let's say if you are currently logged in, you simply in Google type Socrative student login, okay, and there you type, it will ask for the classroom code, join. There you type Atique in capital and 6972, hit enter key. You will be taken up to this particular test. Okay. Or otherwise, if I will show you from my screen itself, then what will happen? It will the teacher will log out, and then student we need to log in. Okay. So let us try that login activity for this Atique student login. Okay, so Atique 6972 is the address. Okay, and say join. Moment I join, it will ask me whether, if since I have made my name compulsory, okay, that's why this particular tab is appearing here. So let's say Muhammad Atique. Okay, done. Okay, enter your name and done. Now the 5 questions which I have said, okay, they are appearing one by one. I can submit the answer. So what are the proposed changes in higher education under NEP 2020? Whatever you feel, this is a short answer type, right? So you can type here and submit the answer. Okay. Now it is a blend of all those things. Now the beauty of this tool is it will not only give you whether the answer is correct or hint and all those things are there. Now let's say the second question is MCQ sort of.
Answer though.
Sorry. Which language policy does the NEP 2020 emphasizes? So a 3-language policy is there. Submit the answer. So along with the answer, the explanation is coming up. Okay. And to your surprise, it has some AI functionality as well. So you simply specify the topic. For example, this exercise I have created by simply saying NEP 2020. So it has come up with all these questions and answers, right? So it can create, see, the only thing you need to do is you need to moderate it. Okay. So again, you can type here, since it is a descriptive sort of thing, submit the answer. Okay. Then National NEP 2020 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curricular structure. This is correct. So let's submit the answer. So, and so on. This is the 5th and the last question to reduce the hours. Let us pick something wrong. Okay. Now it will give you that this answer is incorrect. Okay. What is the correct answer? Again, that is being displayed over there. Now I have appeared as a student. Let us go to, you can say, my test. I think Zishan Raza Khan sir has again appeared for the test. Okay, let us find out the scores. Okay. So this is the another tool, but as I have told you, this is not completely free. Now go to live result section. These 2 people, they have appeared. This is their score, 67%. Mine is 67%. Zishan sir, 100%. Right. So something like that. Right. So this is how you can use this particular tool. It can generate reports. I think sir was talking about, that is, what about the reports and so on, evaluation reports. You can create n number of room. Let's say you are teaching to 3-4 students. You can go on adding room. It will not allow me right now because I am using a demo version. Okay. It will ask me to upgrade to add rooms. Okay. This is something like that. Then you have library and then you have a launch. So these are the exercises which I have created in the recent past. All those exercises I can go for. Okay. So with some limited functionality, you can use it as free. But if you want to use it full-fledged, you have to pay for it. Right. So Get Pro, some plans are again there. These are the plans which you can see, essentials $10 and so on. So this is Socrative. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. So if we have few minutes left, then we will have something on maybe net logo. Any one of you have tried net logo?
No.
So this is, yes, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, anyway, so we'll have simply within 2-3 minutes, I'll just expose you. Okay. Later on, you can explore these tools at your end. Okay. So this net logo is a tool which you can use for explaining some difficult topics to your student. It is a simulation tool. Okay. Net logo, go to simply library. So you have built-in models here. And the beauty of this tool is, it is basically, now look at the areas, sample models which are available. It is starting from arts, biology, okay, computer science and whatnot, okay, mathematics and so on, physics, chemistry and so on. Let us search something on computer science. Okay, let's say select, that is how to train neural network. So this is a model for training the neural network. Okay, you can either download it. Again, this has been built on FOSS philosophy, that is free and open source software philosophy. You can download the code as well. Okay, code will be available at the end. You can download it, you can modify it. Okay, right now I'll just demonstrate you that is how you can run it instead of downloading it, how to run it in a browser. Okay, so try running in NetLogo web. Okay, I am invoking that. So this is the setup. So I can go for setting up as per my own requirement. This is artificial neural network, that is ANN. Okay, and the training you can explain to the student with the help of this. So simply click on this train button. It will show you how the weights are being normalized. Okay, and so on. Okay, and it will stop after. Since randomly I have picked up, you can fine tune it as per your own need. Okay, and you can very well do that. Okay, apart from that, you have NetLogo code here. As I was talking about, that is, you get the complete code of this particular, the code which is basically used for creating this particular model is very much available there. Okay, apart from that, explanation with regard to this particular model info. Okay, if you are new to this, that is, what is it, starting from scratch to what are various features, how to use it, and so on, that is there, right? So you can use this simulation tool for maybe explaining some difficult concepts, okay, to the student community. This is NetLogo, and one more tool is there, which is, I don't know whether you are aware, is the answer garden. Let's say you want to brainstorm on a particular topic. Okay, you want to gather the feedback. Let's say this, my session is over, I want to know the feedback from the participant. I can very well use this answer garden. So what is answer garden? It is a minimal tool for maximum feedback. Okay, that is the tagline. Okay, and you can use it very easily. Okay, let us try to create one answer garden. Simply click on this plus sign. Okay, it will ask you the name. Say, let us give the title as feedback. Okay, and these are the various mode in which this particular tool it works. You can use it in a brainstorming mode, or you can use it for classroom mode, or moderator, or locked. Okay, we'll not go into the details. Let's try this with brainstorm. Okay, the peculiar characteristic of this particular tool is you cannot have more than 40 characters in the answers, right? So either 20 or 40. These are the only two possibilities here. Okay, so you can pick up based on your requirement either 20 or 40. Okay, then you can create the password. Okay, and so on, spam filter and so on. You can make the answers maybe lowercase, uppercase, or whatever you feel appropriate. Then simply go to this create button. Okay, now what you need to do is, let's say you need to share, you want to brainstorm on a particular topic, you need to share this particular number, garden.ch/4385362, and with the student community, so they can give their feedbacks, and that will be populated here. Say for example, if I type something, okay, that will start appearing here. So if you are using your machine, right, you can go ahead with the maybe good, thanks, whatever you feel like, right? So that will be populated, and the beauty of this is that is there are very many things which you can do. You can go for you can say you can moderate, you can share the even QR code, okay, with the student community. You can moderate the answers, okay, you can refresh it, okay, and so on and so forth, and you can share it, okay, if required. So this is the another tool, okay, another important tool which you can use for gathering the feedback and so on. Okay. So I hope, I don't know whether are you with me first of all? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the problem with this
Yeah,
online,
yes.
yeah, problem with this online is you never know what is happening at the other end. Anyway, thank you very much for the patience hearing. If there are any question, I will be happy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If there are any question, I will be happy to answer. Yes. Sir,
I think, sir, it's a very wonderful session, and
thank you.
I have scored 100%. It's very.
No, that is not expected. But if you feel like discussing something, we will. I'll be happy.
Definitely, sir.
Yes.
I think if you have any question, dear participant, then you please ask quickly. Then we will take a break of 15 minutes, and we will be again joining for the next session.
Chaliye.
Okay, I
sir.
think there is no more question from the participant. Sir, thank you very much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank
And
you.
Thank you.
wonderful session, and I'll be discussing with my colleagues also in the university.
Okay.
Anytime, sir, you are traveling or plan to travel towards Lucknow, please let me know.
Thanks for the
We
invitation.
will be definitely having a session of you in
Yes, sir.
Integral University, sir.
All right, sir. All right. Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear participants, we are taking a break of 15 minutes, and we will be joining again for the next session of Dr. Aftab Ahmed Ansari. He is from the Department of Education again, AMU. So I'm requesting you to please be present. Okay. Thank you.